Can't find clothes. Oh, I have to get back up. Can't find shoes. I don't go out in public a lot because I have a lot of people following me and trying to take my picture.
Ready?
My name is Janice Greene. I'm 53 years old and I am disabled. I have to get back up. My condition is called primary lymphedema. There is not a cure for lymphedema. The swelling is lymphatic fluid that's a protein, and it's in there with tissue. It makes fibrous tissue. We were guesstimating that it was about 150 pounds.
All right, turn.
You know, to bandage or wrap Janice or anybody with lymphedema on a regular basis to keep the swelling down. Because if you don't keep it, every part under compression, it'll swell right back up again.
All right. Ready? What I have to do is check in between the lobes, make sure there's no cuts or scrapes. If you want to turn that way just a little bit towards him. And we check in between. There might be a little redness here and there. Okay, you want to turn back? Then if you turn on the inside, you can actually see surgical scars on the inside of the leg where they debulked her. And you can see that all those little scars mitigate where everything's going.
Can you clean this up?
Yep.
Make sure Angus doesn't get anything?
Yep.
I'm gonna go shower. I'll be very quick, okay?
One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stocking nets, 3 toe bandages, quarter roll of tape, and a bunch of foam.
When I was a kid, I was always in and out of the hospital. I had the best parents in the world. My mother went to the ends of the earth to get me help. There was no internet, word of mouth, you had to make phone calls. She did everything possible within her power to make sure that, you know, she could find something to help me. These are both of my sisters. This is Diane. She's got it in both legs now. That's me, of course. And this is my sister Kay. She now has it in one of her lower legs. And I've had it since I was 6. So it's definitely hereditary. When I was a child, I had my first surgery, and it took off the inside of my leg, and it made where I could walk properly. I was supposed to go back and have surgery on each side of my leg, and my father refused because it took me too long to heal. When I got pregnant with my son, I quit doing all the stockings and things, and then my thigh started to overflow, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger.
That was when she's up probably about her biggest. You can see how big the lower part of her legs gotten, and then the width from here to here is about 69 inches, I think. And these red spots right here is a yeast infection. And more of those, I think that's all I'm trying to think.
Oh. I'm only allowed to sit on one side of the bed.
She can only sleep on one side of the bed.
He won't allow me to sit on his side. Look how purple it is.
It's because you're not getting that blood flow like we're doing.
Watch out. I got a tear right there.
Yeah, you got another one down there?
I don't see it.
No, it's just that filled up.
Oh, I don't feel it.
Yeah, it's your blood flow. Not doing that MLD.
When I first met Janice, she asked me if I wanted to see her leg, and I was like, no. And it doesn't matter to me. I want to know you as a person. All right, pull this down towards the bottom, all the way down to where it covers everything on my foot without chopping into my foot. Oh my gosh, he's a blessing. Right before I first met him, I said,
if this is not meant to be, don't let it happen.
I protect Janice a lot. If I see people going at, trying to actively go after her for pictures or whatever, I'll stand between them. I'll slow down or I'll go over and say something.
You leave anything in here that you need in there?
I'll check, but I just got to get the back of that heel up with this.
You don't need that, do you?
No.
Alrighty, once again.
It's not so bad now. It's a lot less. I mean, she was at 69 inches at the horizontal all the way around at the widest point, and now she's about 46 inches. But when the lobe was at its biggest, it was also bowing out the other knee. Now, Janice also has deformities in her back and hips because she's drugged this heavy leg around for this many years. Her right side is more built up. Back up to me.
And what we do is each individual lobe, put a little stocking net over it to keep the skin from touching against each other.
Once we got to a point, she just kind of gave up and said she didn't want to be messed with. And so we stopped. And for the next 2 years, she ballooned up to the biggest point, which was
Became housebound.
just couldn't drive, couldn't, really walk around the house that much, so, couldn't do anything. At that point, it was something had to be done.
It's okay, baby. It's okay.
I know.
It's okay.
But it's just, and I knew from reading from the internet that if Janice didn't get help, didn't get it down and get the fluid off her, that she would go through congestive heart failure.
It's okay.
I did not want to see that happen. So I started doing a lot of research, calling around, making calls, everywhere.
I can't get any low vehicles, any tiny vehicles. I can't go to just any restaurant. They have to have chairs that sit low because one, I can't sit in a booth. And two, when I sit down with a lobe, I can't put my back up against anything because I have to sit forward. The treatment I'm doing today is Hevamat. It's supposed to be just like a vibrator or a vibration to break up tissue, the hard tissue.
I'm Heidi Atkins. I'm a physician assistant with Dr. Harper here at Vein Specialists of the South, and I'm one of Janice's providers. Janice suffers from a severe form of lymphedema. So the lymphedema therapy and Hevamat are supposed to help with the lymph channels trying to drain the areas of excess fluid that she has in her legs. And it should help her overall with wrapping and that therapy so she can actually at this point just have more mobility and actually get her life back. She is probably one of the most severe cases that we've actually seen here at Vein Specialists of the South. If she continues to continue the treatments as she is doing right now, she should continue to see more improvement. Now, she's never going to get back down to her legs being equal, but she should continue to see less and less swelling in that legs. And with her, she has those kind of swelling masses, and those should actually go down.
All right. Keep going. That's right. And get your butt to the clinic.
I felt like before I was at the end of my road. I just felt like I was sitting here waiting to die, and everybody was passing me by. So quality of life is definitely changing, definitely, big difference. Now I feel like I have a future, so maybe if I sit down and think about it,
What's the one thing I want to do with you?
Dance. He wants to dance. It's okay. But other than that, just day by day.
There's hope there. We're hoping that we can just keep going and get her down to a point, whether it's surgical or not, that's up to her, but we can get her to that point where she is happy, she can do the things that she wants to do, and do things that other people can do. You ready?
Ow.
I know. It's not easy, but when I see her smile, yeah, it just brings tears to my eyes, because she knows I love her. And I know that she would do whatever it took for me to. If something ever happened, we have each other.
I love you.
I love you.